Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today I'm going to be bringing you my mid-year freakout tag. It is obviously past the middle of the year, so we're going to be talking about some books today. I think these are very similar questions to what I have already answered before. If they are slightly tweaked, I think I've just copied a different list. I've done this for a few years now. I don't know if this is like my second or my third one. I think this might be my third one, possibly, but I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. So the very first question is the best book that you have read so far this year, and I've got a few 5 stars, to be honest. So I've got a few favourite books, but the two I'm going to mention, the first one is Along the Razor's Edge by Rob J. Hayes. This is the first book in one of his series, and the name of the series escapes me currently. I rated this 5 stars. I absolutely adored it. It's following our main character Eska, and she is problematic at best, but I absolutely love that about her. I love the fact that she isn't perfect and everything she goes through. There is one particular scene that I have in mind. I think it's actually something that a lot of girls probably experience in this particular scene, and I think he did it really well. And yeah, absolutely loved it. And then the other one I'm going to mention is Jade War. So I read this whole series with Lisa, and together we run a book club called It's All About Fantasy. The Twitter is linked down below if you want to check it out. But we read this entire trilogy, and I will say that this one is my favourite out of the series. I love the action. I loved what was happening in this, and the character relationships and the character developments. Can't tell you a lot about it because obviously it'll spoil the ending of the first book, and no one wants to know about the middle book really. But I do think this is probably one of the very few times where the second book in a trilogy especially has just blown me away as much as this did. I absolutely adored it, and I think I do want to do a reread, not anytime soon, but I do want to do a reread, and I reckon that I will pick out so many more things from this series in the reread, because it is that sort of fantasy where you probably will pick up more as you go back and read and you experience it for a second time. So I'm looking forward to the reread, but those are my 2 best books of the year so far. The next question is best sequel you've read so far, and again I'm just going to say Jade War for everything that I just said then, because I don't think I've rated another sequel 5 stars so far this year, so there's that one. New releases that you haven't read yet but want to. I have got so many of these. Again, I'm going to talk about 2. The first one is this from Brandon Sanderson, Tress of the Emerald Sea. I want to know what all of the hype is about. Obviously, if you don't know, Brandon Sanderson released that he was doing a secret project and he was releasing 4 books. Did a Kickstarter, blew his target completely out of the water, but is anyone surprised? No. And so this is not the special edition that they pre-ordered, but I have pre-ordered them all from Waterstones, and I just want to see what all the hype is about. I've seen mixed reviews on this. I've seen some people love this. I've seen some people don't think it's as great. Some people think it's really rushed. I want to know what my thoughts are. So that is the first one that I want to get to, and the other one is this one, which is The Will of Many by James I think it's Islington. That's how it's spelled, and I really hope I'm saying it right. And he is the author of the Lysanias trilogy, which I do have on my shelves. You can probably just about see them here. This one is set in a magic school, I believe, and our main character is there to try and make everyone think that he wants to follow the rules, wants to learn to become a tool to the empire in which he lives, but he's actually there as a rebel. That's all I know, and it's not a lot, obviously, but it's something. And yeah, I really wanna see how I feel about this one as well, because I think I'm going to really enjoy it. I love a trial story. I love a magic school story. Give me any of that and I will probably always enjoy it. So the next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and for this one I'm going to say The Fragile Threads by V.E. Schwab. So this is the first book in the Threads of Power. I believe it's going to be a trilogy, but it links in with the A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy as well, so I need to obviously read them before this comes out. But I think that might actually be my most anticipated for the next half of the year. Next up we've got biggest disappointment, and for me I'm gonna have to say it was Award Gods. I'll put a picture of the cover here for you. I was hoping to really enjoy this. I listened to it on audio. I was very kindly sent it by the author, but unfortunately it just didn't gel with me. I think it is possibly just because I actually never realised how much I am not a Greek mythology retelling kind of gal. Not a fan, didn't realise. I'm not fussed on god retellings or anything like that, which kind of sucks because there are quite a few books that are coming out or are already out that sound interesting, but I just don't think I'm going to gel with them, so that's my biggest disappointment. I will also give an honourable mention to Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm not surprised that it hasn't gelled with me, as I'm currently filming this video right now. I have not finished it. I've got about 2 hours left, but I actually have 9 pages of notes, and I've spoken about this with a couple of people, and I understand why people love this book. I can completely understand it, as I was talking to the lovely Esme about it, and she said it's like brain candy, and it is. Don't mind me just moving my laptop because it's too loud. Yeah, I can understand why people love this book, because it's brain candy, it's really easy to read, but I just don't understand all the hype for this book. I don't think I'm by myself, but if you have loved it, fair play to you. I'm really glad you've loved it. I just unfortunately haven't. I have done a lot of eye rolling. I have wanted to punch one of the main characters pretty much since he came on the scene, and he's on the scene from the start of the book. And I'm not a romancy person, like, at all. And I've noticed this, but we'll go into that in the next question as well, because the next one, like, anyways, but constantly being told, like, oh, he's hot, this is hot, how does my body react like that? Me, doesn't work. Very YA to me in that sense. I feel like it is very much, it's YA in its writing, and that's fine, but it's classed as new adult because there's kind of like, I guess, well, I think at the point where I'm at, I'm finding out like a spicy scene, but it's a little bit cringeworthy if I'm honest. But anyways, that's my biggest disappointment. My biggest surprise though is actually a romance book, and that is The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. I'll put a cover here because I don't know where my copy is. Oh no, it's here. My biggest surprise, The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. So this is actually a romance. I believe this is classed as an adult romance. But you know what? I liked all of the characters in this book, and well, not all of them. I liked the 2 points of views that we were reading from. I liked them. I like the premise. This is much more fantasy. Well, it's not it's not more fantasy than Fourth Wing, because Fourth Wing is about dragons. And usually if it's got dragons in, then I'm gonna love it, but that's not necessarily the case with that book. But anyways, I digress. So this book, I still gave it 3 stars, but I was pleasantly surprised at how much I actually enjoyed it, and it wasn't massively cringeworthy in my opinion. We weren't constantly talking about how hot everyone was and all of these things. This felt more relatable to me, and I think that is where my romance needs to sit. Like, I completely understand people that love to read smart. Like, I get it, but it's just not really for me, even though I do want to read Sergio Mas books, and I believe her newest book in the Akatar series is just a lot of smart, but I'll try it. But yeah, this is my biggest surprise, and I'm happy about it. The next one is a favourite new author that's a debut or new to me. New to me, Olivia Blake. Wow, I can talk, I swear. I read this earlier this year, and I actually really enjoyed it. I loved the multiple points of view. I loved kind of seeing how everyone felt in the different moments. I really enjoyed that. I need to pick up Atlas Paradox because I just want to experience it more. I love this world, I actually do. So yeah, I think this is like my favourite new to me author. yeah, so I think this is my new favourite, new to me, author. Newest fictional crush. Now, I don't really crush on people, but I'm going to have to say it's going to be Hart from Heart and Mercy. Like, I just think he's such a great character. Like, he was quite douchey at the start of the book when you read from Mercy's point of view, but when you read from his points of view, he's actually just a cuddly little teddy bear, and I think I probably could have a crush on him. But me in fiction, I get this every time I do this question. I don't really like crush on people, but I think, yeah, if it was going to be anyone, it's going to be Hart. Newest favourite character? I don't know. This is my problem. I'm the sort of reader that kind of goes, right, I've read that, brilliant, I can tell you the story, but I couldn't tell you anything else. But actually, I've got some favourite characters in Fourth Wing. And they are none of the main characters, but they are mentioned. One of which is a character called Liam, and one of them is called Riddick, and I think his name is Riddick. I'm listening to it, so I might be saying them wrong. But anyways, in Fourth Wing, it's those two characters, and that is because Liam, again, really big teddy bear. He is... this isn't a spoiler. He is basically protecting another character within the book at some point, and we just get to learn more about him, and I really like that. And Riddick, because Riddick is the comedic relief essentially in a book that I'm not massively enjoying, so he's making it better, and I would say that is probably why they are two of my more favourite characters in that book. Book that made me cry? None. I'm emotionless, I say this every year. Maybe one day, but this year is not that year. A book that made me happy. Now I've got to remember what I've read. I don't really read happy books, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I've got no idea. No, I don't have a book that made me happy. Most of my books make me feel sad. Just because I read a lot of adult fantasy, and I haven't actually finished miniseries yet, so there aren't like those ultimate conclusions. Anyways, most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. Oh, now I get 2 book boxes, and this beats all of them. This is the special edition of Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill. I bang on about it. Well, I actually haven't banged on about his books for a little while, I don't think. But this is the most beautiful edition that I have bought this year. We have got gilding everywhere. Obviously, we've got a very reflective cover because protecting. We have gilded pages. We have dragon scales that carry on round the back. Beautiful. It is signed... Hang on, let me put it back together. Redresser. Oh, my sticker fell out. It's signed and numbered, and we've got full colour end papers with the map, and we have full colour artwork. Like, when I reread these books, I'm rereading these editions. That is my plan. But this is definitely the most beautiful book I've bought this year, and I cannot wait for them to do the rest of the series. Will I have double editions of every single one of these books? Yes. Yes, I will. Do I care? No. No, I don't. Most beautiful book. And final question, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? All of them? Quite a few. I have got quite a few indies on my list that I want to read. Just to throw names out of books, I guess. I want to finish The Book That Wouldn't Burn. I want to finish the Poppy War series. I only have The Burning God left to read. I would love to finish the City of Brass trilogy. I've got 3 books left to read in that, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but I would love to read those books. I would love some indies. I'd love to read Ascendant, the hero interviews. I've got my Spiffbo 9 books to read. There's some fantastic people on there. There are so many that I want to read, so we'll just have to see what I do. Yeah, that is the end of the mid-year freakout tag for 2023. I hope I've answered your questions. I hope I've given you something to think about. If I have and you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, which supports me on my channel. Leave me a comment down below of a book that you're anticipating for the rest of the year. I'd really like to know. And if you just want to leave me an emoji, leave me like the head exploding emoji for the freak out. And if you want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and ring that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload new videos. I try to upload every Wednesday and Sunday, so be sure to stick around for more bookish content from me. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you soon in the next one.